First question, does karma of our parents affect our own karma? Or we are the only ones responsible for our own karma? Does karma of our parents affect our own karma? Now, you have parents and parents have children. If they come together, there are many reasons for coming together. You become the son of your mom and dad, or the daughter of mom and dad. You don't come just without any reason. There's got to be some reason. And this reason, probably, or I think most of the time, may be related to the previous lifetime. How come you get born into that family? Is it by accident? Nothing happened by accident. There's so many reasons for something coming to pass. So there are causes and conditions for you becoming what you are today. There are causes and conditions for you coming into this family. There are causes and conditions for you being the son or the daughter of your mom and dad. So karma is related to a lot of conditions and reasons. Say, for example, if you were very frugal in your previous lifetime, you were a miser, you have a lot of money, you're a millionaire, but you don't want to donate a penny out to the poor. And you want to keep it that way, and you want to keep everything for yourself. You don't help others, you're selfish, you don't donate, even though you have a lot of money. You just want to satisfy yourself. But you're still greedy for more. So you haven't germinated the cost of giving out charity. And because of that, you haven't germinated the effect of being rich in the next life. Now, all this, of course, if you're frugal, if you're economical and miserly, or how come you become poor? There's a lot of web. Causes and conditions is like a spider's web. There's no one very one-for-one correspondence. There's so many reasons add to it. But if you are not generous, your next life will be you are poor. And one of the reasons the Sutra explains why. So if you're born into a poor family, many reasons for being born into a poor family, and then there are reasons for people who are born with a golden key to a lot of riches. So if your parents have good karma and you have good karma, probably the two will come together. If you have bad karma, probably you were born into parents with bad karma. Because if you have you cultivated bad karma, you germinated the bad causes, and you will have bad effects. When the effect materialized, they've got to find a place where it mature, and that's the place, that's home, that's the home where you belong to. So all these are related. There's no one single accident that is not related. All this causes and effect is like a spider's web. Not one single thread is unnecessary. You need that thread, that spider's thread, to knit it together. And how and why and what correspond to what, you need the divine eye, or the Dharma eye, or even the Buddha eyes to identify them. And the fact that you people come together, parents and daughters and sons and grandchild and brothers and sisters, there could be some unfinished businesses that you have to deal with. And some brothers and sisters, they are in good terms with each other. Some, they're always against each other. Why? It's the same family. One brother is treating other well, and one sister is treating the brother badly. Why? Different karma, different businesses, different unfinished business. The fact that he's treating you poorly is because you treated him or her poorly before. One good term deserves another. There's nothing that does not have a reason. Anything we do, Anything that comes out is not without a reason, not without a cause. Good cause, but generally good cause would give rise to good effect. Bad cause would give rise to bad effect. When would the maturity be? We don't know. Maturity rate is different. When you grow an apple tree, you may reap the apples in this year. When you grow a peach tree, it takes you 2-3 years. How comes the difference in timing? The maturity is not the same. So if you are doing all kinds of good deeds in this life and you're still encountering poor results, it does not mean that the good deeds will not give rise to good results. The maturity is in next life. Now the fact that some people are doing bad things, evil things, and they're still rich, he's still happy, he still feels happy because he had done a lot of good things in his past life, and his maturity now comes to mature those good deeds he have done in the past. His bad deeds that he have done now, he would get his in his next life. So if people ask me, what is the most, where do you get equality in life? Some people say even the legal system may not be equitable, may not be fair, because any kind of legal system is based on background of that country, traditions and culture of that country. And it varies. It may be fair, it may not be fair. But one thing is for sure fair, karma. You cultivate your own field. You reap your own results. So they're related. They're related. So one affects the others. Next question. Has somebody gotten the 6 powers that we know? Who? Well, you want to find out who got the 6 powers and you want to meet them and find out your past life? How does it help you? And some people, I've encountered a lot of people asking different questions. I'm not saying this is a bad question. This is a good question. I've encountered people who come for the first time and I talk about enlightenment. He said, hey, have you got enlightenment yourself? What a practical question. You're talking about enlightenment. Have you got enlightenment yourself? If I tell you I'm not enlightened, you're not going to come next time. So what kind of answer you want me to give you? Yes or no? Could be yes, could be no. So has somebody gotten the 6 powers that we know? If that master, that person has gotten the 6 powers, and if you start to tell everybody, I've got the divine eye, I've got the divine listening, I've got the divine power to read your mind, I've got this, I've got that. You know what signifies to you? That's an ego. That's an ego exaggeration. He wants to be famous. How do you get these 6 powers? You get these 6, I'll answer your question. You get these 6 supernatural powers when your ego is gone. When you start to accumulate these egos, you lose them. As I said, you have the power, you don't release it and tell everybody. You start to tell everybody that I have that power, your power will be gone. Because why? You work very hard to eliminate your ego. Now you're accumulating it again. You're losing it. You're working very hard to accumulate all these treasures, and you now just give it out. You squander them away. No more treasures. So people who have the 6 supernatural powers, many monks and many practitioners and meditation, they acquire these powers. They keep it as expedient means to help others. When you ask them, you solve my problems, you must be able to read my mind, and he would say, no, I'm just trying to help. I can't read any mind. I'm just like you, an ordinary person. They won't tell you that he's a saint. Except in certain circumstances that they have to tell you. Otherwise, they won't tell you. So, has somebody gotten the 6 powers that we know? We know that a lot of people have gotten 6 powers. According to literature we read, the ancient literature, sutras, there are a lot of people who have those powers. But they only release, they only let you know when they're gone. There was this, I just picked out one episode from a sutra. When you enter the temple, who do you see? The laughing Buddha? That's Maitreya Bodhisattva. He appeared in China in the Liang dynasty. He appeared as a chubby monk carrying a bag and a rosary, and he was going about the marketplace and telling people the Buddhist teaching. He looked very. He didn't dress in shabby clothes. He looked very usual. It's like a usual monk, but they carry a bag and carry a rosary, and they go about telling people, "You be good. You stay away from evil. You work righteously and stay away from evil doings." He do that all the time, and when he passed away, I keep the story short. I could tell you a long story about that. When he passed away, before he passed away, 6 days before he passed away, he went into the magistrate's office. The magistrate is his friend, a judge. Is his friend. He said, "I'm leaving town and I'm going away for a few days, and I'm leaving this envelope. I have a message in there, and if I come back, then please return this envelope to me. And if I didn't come back, you open this envelope, and you will know my whereabouts." The magistrate, being his good friend, of course, obey what he said and put the envelope away and wait for his return. He never returned again. And he opened the envelope, and there's a poem in there. The poem said something like this. I'm not going to translate it word for word. "I am Maitreya Bodhisattva appearing in this world, and nobody knows. When I go away, now they know." So there's Bodhisattva who return to this ocean of life and death to help folks. For 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, they appear in different forms. Bodhisattvas come back to reincarnation to help. And they come back in many forms, in many ways. They may come back as politicians, a righteous, hardworking, compassionate politician who really help the country. They come back as politicians. And sometimes they come back as a very benign, a very good doctor, helping patients. They're bad doctors, they're good doctors. They could come back as a nurse. Florence Nightingale, a nurse. They may come back as Dr. Albert Schweitzer, who went to Africa, the interior part of Africa, to help out the poor Africans, to set up huts of hospitals for sick animals. He spent his whole life in the forest in Central Africa. He won the Nobel Prize for Humanity. He was a pianist. He gave concerts in Europe, whereby he got a lot of donation, and he used this donation to build hospitals in Africa. He came back as a doctor. He could be a Bodhisattva coming back as a doctor. He could come back as a politician who helped to emancipate slaves. Abraham Lincoln. He could come back as an handicapped to help the handicapped people, like Helen Keller, who was visually impaired, who couldn't listen, who couldn't talk. No senses of the whole world, but she became a successful philosopher, writer. She helped to invent a braille system for the visually impaired. So, those who got power, they didn't tell you. Those who want to exaggerate their power and want to earn money from you, they tell you. You come to me, I can communicate with the spirits. And you are being interested in this kind of inconceivable power. You go to him or her. They went to his hut, Mrs. Gypsy. And he went in and she looked at the crystal ball and started to shake his body and say, "Oh, your last lifetime was a monk. And this lifetime you do this and you do that. Now here's $60. So people who said they have powers, they only use powers to help, not powers to exaggerate, not powers to tell you. The empty vessels make most sound. those who don't make any sound and help you without you being noticed, those are the saints. Did I satisfy your good question? Or you still want to raise your hand? No more? Okay, good. Okay, next question. This was on the news. A mother in Hong Kong has the daughter, one age 18 and the other age 22. And his very protective mother, she is a very protective mother and loves her daughters very much. But one day the 22-year-old daughter didn't come home for one night and got into an argument the day later. The mother got so mad, she accidentally beat her 22-year-old with a pen. What kind of pen? It's a Chinese wok? That's heavy. Is that a pen, P-A-N? And then the 18, in Hong Kong they don't use a pen, probably a wok. This 18-year-old daughter saw this and called the police. The mother was imprisoned and had to serve a sentence afterwards. What kind of karma is this? The mother was good mother, and everything she did was good for her daughter. Why did she got a bad sentence? Well, you're a good mother, but you're a temperamental mother. You're an emotional mother. And you're a mother who does not stand on reason when you become mad. You could be the best mother on earth, but you got the worst temper in the family. That doesn't help. The Buddha's teaching teaches you to bear, to go through endurance, to put up with bad terms, to put up with bad circumstances when they come up. You have to endure. You have to tolerate. Your tolerance level, you are the best mother on earth. You're very protective of your daughters. But you have the least tolerance level when it comes up to things happen at a certain moment. You can't bear it. So you need more meditation. You're good, but you're doing bad things. How can you hit your daughter? How can you use violence to resolve family matters? That's the first lesson you have to learn. You can never use violence to resolve family dispute. Not to say heated arguments, not to say yelling and shouting and cursing. I heard families use cursing and shouting to resolve to try to resolve family matters. Usually, the other party quiet down, then nothing happened. If two heated parties started to argue, it gets into violence. So violence, the act of violence is responsible for a lot of broken homes, a lot of broken marriages. So you haven't even learned the Buddha's teaching of tolerance. You don't have tolerance level. You're a protective mother, okay, but you have misused it. How can you also, you're trying to be protective. What is your intention of being protective? You can't be protective physically. You must be protective spiritually. How do you protect spiritually your daughter? You teach your daughter to be a good daughter. You want to be physically protecting your daughter because you don't want your daughter to be hurt by others. Physically, you want your daughter to be home at night. But if you spiritually educate your daughter so that she knows that she can't go at night to other house, she can't stay in other people's place at night, you educate her. Give education, not agitation. You spiritually educate your daughter, not physically protective. You have to be spiritually protective. How? Educate them to be better. Tell them causes and effect. Tell them what they should do and what they should not do. Not just physical protection. You're not a lifeguard. You're not just protecting life. Protection of life is not enough. Protection of the spiritual life is more important. I can't go on this, otherwise it takes another 10 minutes. Next question. In the Sutra on the 8 realization of great beings, we say, overcome the 4 demons and be free from the prison of the 5 aggregates and the 3 realms. What are these 4 demons? These demons actually are not the physical devils, demons. You know, when you see movies, you can demons with rings and with a black coat, with a shaft. Not that kind of demons. Not the Halloween kind of demons. It's the demons of your own mind. The demon of mental afflictions, the demon of greediness, the demon of jealousy, the demon of hatred. All these demons that work in your mind. The demon of the fright of death, the demon of depression, the demon of anxiety, the demon of arrogance, the demon of jealousy, hatred, you name them. All these are demons, demons of your own mind. You got to control them. And here they classify 4 for you. It's easy to look at the Buddhist dictionary to find out what those 4. As far as I can remember, the demon of the fear of death, the demon of mental afflictions, all these. Not the physical Halloween type of demon on the movies. Those demons are not as powerful as your own demons in your mind. What ruins you is not the Halloween kind of demon. It's your own mind. How do we perform an evil action? And somebody say, "Oh, that demon drives me into it." But if that demon drives you into it, if your guardian angel inside of you, that mind inside of you is strong enough, the energy inside of you is strong enough, you won't be driven to do that bad deeds because you are strong. That's why you need meditation. That's why you need chanting. Sometimes if you don't have that powers come from what? That power comes from strengthening of your energy. That comes from meditation, that comes from good deeds, good conduct, morality, charity. That comes from your own endeavors. You strengthen your energy. Sure, there are physical demons in this world. Inconceivable. There are physical demons and ghosts. And they can see your energy. When your energy is weak, they get into you. And many years ago, there were movies like that. Now they don't have those movies anymore about being possessed by demons. I forgot all those. Many years ago, they have those. All these demons, physical demons, they know that you are down in your energy. They can hurt you. That's why you got to build up that energy. How? There are bodhisattvas in this world who are ready to help you. If you are down in your energy, you build up your meditation. You build up your chanting of the mantra. When you are chanting, Om Mani Padme Hum, what do? You're building up your energy. Don't you find your energy is strengthening? So that's how you do it. Sometimes we can build up good characters by, not sometimes, most of the time, if you're youngsters, it's good that youngsters can follow the Buddhist teaching because they can build up a good character. The Buddhist teaching is not idol worshipping. It's about strengthening yourself, about your own, understanding your own, strengthen your mind, and be a better person. Nothing about idling, nothing about idolation. So, demons, what are these 4 demons? These are the demons of your own mind. And these are the windmills of your own mind. How do you want that windmills turn? You operate it. When a bad wind comes, you know how to avoid it. If you don't, you'll be affected. So you got to operate the windmills of your own mind. What's the next question? In Zen Buddhism, it is said that what we do things with total awareness, it is considered as Dharma practice, while an action done distractedly with only half our attention is considered just another worldly action. As a person engaged in Dharma practice, when they are multitasking, doing 2-3 jobs, activities at the same time, is he engaged in Dharma practice? I think this is two separate questions. I'd like to answer the first one first. If you are doing things with total awareness, then you have mindfulness. If you're doing things with total awareness, if you're on the right path, if you have the right foundation, you're doing the right thing. Now, total awareness must be based on good foundation. What are these foundations? Foundations, remember the 3 Sanskrit words: Vinaya, Samadhi, and Prajna. What are these? Vinaya. What is Vinaya? Vinaya is generalizing it. Morality. You got to know your morality standard. You got to have that high morality standard. Your total awareness must be built on the foundation of Vinaya or morality. That's the first foundation. The second foundation, Samadhi, must be based on equanimity of mind. The third is based on Prajna, which is wisdom. So you got to have morality, you got to have concentration, and you got to have wisdom. If you have total awareness and you don't have wisdom, you don't have morality. You could be good at what you're doing, but there's totally lack of morality, you're doing the wrong thing. You're Hitler in Germany. You're totally aware of what you're doing. You want to wipe out a certain race. You hated that race. And you concentrate so much that you won. You won the war. You kill a lot of people. You have total awareness, but your foundation is all rotten because you're hurting other race. You're hurting other people. You don't have a single trace of morality. So total awareness does not mean that that's it and that's okay. It has to be based on the foundations of morality, equanimity, and wisdom. So total awareness is not enough. So total awareness is considered Dharma practice. No, it isn't. If it is total awareness based on those 3 foundations, yes, it is Dharma practice. And then if you distractedly do something with half an attention, it's considered another worldly action. Another worldly action is also Dharma. Why you want to segregate any action from Dharma? Action is Dharma, Dharma is action. Dharma is all comprehensive. Dharma is everything. Dharma is every thought, not to say action. Dharma is every speech, every word, every gesture. Every thought is Dharma. How can you segregate worldly action from Dharma? And are you saying that when you are doing worldly action, have an attention, that's not Dharma? No, you're not away from Dharma. None of us is anything away from Dharma. We are in Dharma. We are with Dharma. We are one with Dharma. We are one with Dharma. Don't try to segregate yourself from it. If a person engaged in the Dharma practice when they are multitasking, do 2-3 jobs at the same time, are they following Dharma practice? So you have the guilt feeling that you're doing 2-3 jobs at the same time. Don't get guilt feeling about doing 2-3 jobs at the same time. But you got to do a good job. Don't utilize those time to do other jobs. Say, if you are doing 2-3 jobs at the same time, you have to be devoted in what you're doing. You have to be responsible for your employer. You don't take advantage of one because of the other. Or you don't take advantage of both of them for yourself. I have experiences like that because I encounter a lot of circumstances. Always try to be responsible. Whatever you're doing, you'll be a responsible mom, responsible dad, responsible daughter, responsible son, responsible teacher, responsible nurse. If you can't even fulfill your responsibility, how can you say you are in Dharma practice? However, everybody has different definition of responsibility. I usually have a high definition for myself. As much as possible. Anyway, I exceed my my limit in answering this question. So, 12:25, and there's no more questions. So I would call an end to this session.